Hi, select topics. All right, so today we're just beginning of the year type stuff. We're just getting back into the groove of some math. So I kept it pretty simple for today. We are just going to go over equations and how to solve equations, okay? So if you had Mr. Likens, this is what he called the upside down T. Same exact thing that we're doing here, solving equations. If you prefer his method of drawing the upside down T that looks something like this, you drew a line from the equal sign and then a line across, feel free to do that. That's great. That's fantastic. Okay, so no problems with that. If you look at 1 through 4 here, these are pretty simple. Actually, 1 through 6. These are pretty simple ones. So remember, when solving equations, our number one goal is that we want to get the variable by itself. Okay, another way to say that is we isolate the variable. Okay, all right, so isolate the variable, get it all by itself. In order to do that, we have to use opposite operations. All right, so for example, on number 4, notice that this is a division problem. So the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So in order to isolate or get the m all by itself, I've got to get rid of this divide by 7. To do that, I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. So this 7 and this 7 end up canceling each other out, so you're left with just m on this side. And then negative 7 times 7 is negative 49. And there's your answer. Remember, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other side as well. Okay, so those are pretty simple, not too bad at all. All right, then we get down here to 7 and on. Notice we have distributive property. Okay, you may know this as distributive property or rainbow method. So if we look at number 8, I'm taking this negative 6 and I'm distributing it or passing it out to the two items that are inside the parentheses. And we're multiplying this. So negative 6 times 8 is negative 48. And then negative 6 times, this is a positive 3 because there's a plus there. So this is going to be negative 18v. And this equals negative 102. And then you go through and you solve it like normal. So if we did it like Mr. Likens, we bring down the straight line, the t. So then I would be adding 48 opposite operations. Remember, in order to move something across the equal sign, you use opposite operations. So I have negative 18v equals, and let's see if I can do this real quick. That's 4, 3, nope, that's definitely not it. I'm sorry. Miss Carol's getting back in the groove as well. So let's see, we have negative 102 plus 48, which is actually going to be, that's actually a subtraction problem. So we get 54. Oop, there we go. So we get negative 54. Again, you guys use calculators, perfectly fine. So negative 18, we're going to divide each side by negative 18. Remember, you always divide by the number that's with the letter. So we have v equals, and negative over a negative makes a positive. So this is a positive 3. Again, use your calculator, okay? So that's what you're doing down here. I notice that things get a little bit more complicated down here as we go down. Okay, so just take it one step at a time. Be really careful. Look at number 14. So notice this side right here. Okay, that's what we're going to deal with first. So I am just going to distribute this 5. This x, negative x, does not get distributed at all. It's just the 5 because that's what's directly in front of the parentheses. So on number 16, we're just distributing the 6. We are not distributing this 6n. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll work out number 14. So I'm going to rewrite this side because there's nothing I can do to it. I can't combine like terms because they're not like terms. So there's nothing I can do. So on this side, I have a negative x, and then I have 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. And 5 times x gives me 5x. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So if I look at this, I've got a negative x and a 5x on this side. So this is really a negative 1 plus 5, and that's going to give me 4x and then minus 10. The sign that's in front of the number sticks with it. Now I need to get my x's together. So if I look at this, I have a 4x and I have a 7x. Both of them are positive. So I don't like dealing with negative numbers because I tend to make mistakes with negatives. I just proved it a second ago on the other problem. So I want to take the smaller of these two numbers and subtract it from both sides. That way I don't have any negatives. So minus 4x minus 4x. So we have negative 16 plus 3x equals negative 10. And then from here, it's a two-step equation. I'm going to add 16 to both sides, and we end up with 3x equals 6. Divide each side by 3, and I get x equals 2. And of course, I can go back and plug 2 in for x and make sure that I did it correctly. Okay? So don't let these down here at the bottom scare you off at all. They're really not that bad at all. Okay? So just take your time. So here's what we did on these problems down here at the end. So first we did distributive property. Okay, so if we had something like this, we distributed, right? Step 2 is we combine like terms. Now, nothing crosses the equal sign. Crosses the equal sign. Remember, in order to cross the equal sign, we have to use opposite operations. Okay? So combine like terms, and then from there, you're just going to solve as normal. Right? As the upside down T problems. Okay? All right, so work on these. If you have any questions, please feel free to rewatch this video or to contact me. Thanks, guys.